This is the story of one of the longest lasting and most prolific furniture companies in the United Kingdom. You can understand its founder, Robert Gillow, if we explore the following quote. "It was the best of times." Experts claim that the 18th century was the golden age of furniture because three craftsmen developed pattern books. What they neglect to mention was that it was Robert Gillow who first brought mahogany to England 34 years before Chippendale opened his shop, or that it was Mr. Gillow's son that helped James Watt and Robert Adams modernize English mansions with neoclassical designs. Finally, that it was Robert Gillow's grandson that maintained a London furniture shop 8 years after the death of Thomas Sheraton. It was the worst of times. Raised as a Roman Catholic, Robert Gillow also lived through the worst restrictions of King George's Church of England. The King's Church forbid Catholics from attending public school or openly practicing their religion. Fortunately, Robert's hometown of Lancaster had more practicing Catholics than any other location, though they hid their religion from public sight. A high percentage of these Catholics belonged to the upper class, ensuring that the worst of Anglican laws were not enforced. So Robert could create furniture for the Anglican gentry and market to the hidden Catholic population throughout England. Let's go back to England in the 1700s to get the full story. At the age of 10, Robert became the 5th generation to serve as an altar boy, even when the meeting place was hidden from public sight. He kept that promise, despite the fact that 70% of the residents of the county were within the Church of England that forbid Catholics from seeking public office. In 1721, after the death of his father, his mother arranged that Robert enter a 7-year apprenticeship with John Robinson, a Roman Catholic joiner in Lancaster. His new master told him that his future success would demand that his wood, his craftsmanship, and his furniture be twice as good as the typical Anglican carpenter. On the journey to Jamaica, fierce winds broke several spars that crashed through the deck, damaging the mess table. Once ashore, Robert joined some enslaved workers to gather some mahogany timbers from the forest floor to repair the broken stock. On his return trip, he resolved to quit the sea and open a furniture workshop in Lancaster. He made a partnership with another joiner within his parish and prepared his logs for his first project. At the hall, he met his future bride, Angus Fell. That year they married, and later had 5 children that survived infancy. At a holiday dinner party, Bradshaw recommended that Robert take a trip to London to see the latest fashion in furniture construction in the capital city. Robert was impressed and briefly considered establishing a second furniture workshop in London, staffed by one of his sons sometimes in the future. Robert, with his partner and a few apprentices, built several bedsteads, dressing tables, mahogany tables, and chairs. With every new project, Robert would prepare a sketch of the new design, in this case done in a Rococo style with restrained numbers of curves and embellishments. He would lay out the pattern on the best available slab of mahogany and then cut, craft, and refine the needed shape and finish. Each project would then be delivered to the client. Robert found that extensive client relationships created more repeat business than any use of advertising. On troubled days, when the founder thought his company would only attract customers from northwest England, when Richard turned 16, his father apprenticed his son for a 5-year apprenticeship with William Jones, the London architect. After his training was complete, he helped out James Watt in renovating several country estates. One of his first projects in his hometown was the Custom House in Lancaster. This would later become the location of the family's furniture museum. He helped his father supervise the construction of new homes of his clients. Including finding his future wife, Sarah Hairsnip, that he married in 1769. They found a small shop location off of Oxford Road.
Mommy, look! That table is so cheap.
There were immediate sales. Richard's store could offer low prices because the labor rates were lower in Lancaster. And the side benefit was that the company would hear of the latest fashions at nearby furniture stores. In Lancaster, a cabinet maker would use the sketch to make the table and then ship it to London to sell to the public. One of his largest projects was renovating William Egerton's Tatton Hall mansion. Among the hundreds of pieces that were created between 1780 and 1782 was this gentleman's dressing table, which had its own mirror and specialized boxes for his razor and wig powder. Look at the craftsmanship that was devoted to this library table that had engraved compartments to hold his business papers. Richard designed a small desk with an inclined desktop. Richard's final design proved popular. It had 4 drawers, a sliding inkstand, and a top that would rotate 90 degrees. In preparing for his retirement, Richard was proud that his new wealth made him part of the gentry, but he was unsure that his young sons were ready for this responsibility. Richard's teenage sons, Robert, George, and Richard, were expected to take over the business, but they were more interested about parties over the weekend. He was the first to go to the factory and learn the skills of a cabinet maker. Richard also went to the office on a daily basis. Fortunately, he came up with the idea of an extended dining room table, which he patented in 1800. It was also Richard Jr. who thought the most about owning a country estate and earning income from tenant farmers. So with success, he jumped at the chance of marrying Elizabeth Stapleton, a local heiress with extensive lands. The couple had just moved into their new home when Richard's father turned ill. After their father was buried, the three surviving brothers were uncertain what to do. Over the weekend, Richard's wife said,
"Dear, true gentlemen don't run factories. You should retire and enjoy your new life."
After a few months, the chief financial officer told Richard that the company had been managed well and recommended that it was time to expand. This offer incorporates all of your existing assets. Our partnership will reimburse stocks and bonds to all male relatives. And of course, the agreement is contingent that our partnership will maintain the quality of all products. The brothers' legal representative said that the offer was fair, and the brothers agreed to cease active participation in the day-to-day management of the company. Each brother now faced a new life, replacing their shop aprons for a corduroy country jacket to manage income-producing estates. Richard recalled that his new home was originally remodeled by Robert Gillow, his grandfather, when the old man was originally appointed as building supervisor. When the new partners took over the management of the factories and stores, it was apparent that the company was healthy.
Of course, it's only the finest wood, and the craftsmanship is excellent.
In 1903, he purchased all assets of Gillow and Company, placing his name first in the new corporation.